ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Married to Medicine, Season 6, Episode 17. This is the part 2 of the reunion that they keep flip-flopping around regarding the... Wow, my color balance is really off, but whatever. They keep flipping-flopping when it comes to when they're airing, when they're not airing. It's very annoying, but we're just going to get through this as a family and keep it pushing. Anyway, so this starts off with Quad versus Mariah, which none of it makes sense. Tell me this. Riddle me this. Why would Mariah still be friends with a woman who is supposedly sleeping with her sister's husband? Tell me how that makes sense. I know it happens. But tell me how that makes sense. Because right now, this just looks like okay, I'm mad, and so now I'm putting this information out there type of thing versus, oh, this is how I really feel, or this is the whole situation. My problem is, it doesn't make sense. And then Quad to go and say, I feel like Quad said the whole cokehead thing kind of as a retaliation of, it's like, okay, let me not call you a crackhead, but maybe people will believe cokehead. It's just a bunch of foolery and stupidity, and I'm irked and irritated by all of it. So then they move forward. They move forward and they move on. And they reset because things got heated. Andy lost control of the room. Let's take a break. Let's everyone calm down. Let's everyone use the bathroom. Do whatever they need to do to relax. Now, we get to the whole Heavenly versus Mariah thing. Because that's what was originally supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about how we have Mariah who said that she has receipts. And Andy asked everyone, does anyone believe that Mariah has the receipts? Does anyone know where the receipts are? And she said she hasn't shown it to them. No one has seen the receipts. I'm thinking, I don't care. I understand that Mariah does not like Heavenly. So I'm fine with her saying something that she knew she would that would get Heavenly riled up. That's the whole premise. That was the whole point of doing that. That's why I'm looking at this whole situation like, really? Really? What's the problem? What's the actual problem here? Because Heavenly doesn't like Mariah. Mariah doesn't like Heavenly. We got it. We don't care. We don't care. It's boring. It's pointless. We don't care. So then it goes on to just regurgitating, you know, two wrongs don't make a right, three rights don't make a left. I'm thinking, so when are we going to get off of this road? We keep talking about all these directions. When are we going to get off of this road? And they talk about the fight in Antigua. And Mariah has to admit that, yeah, she was upset. She broke the glass. And that's what happened. And she apologizes that it got that far. It's on camera, so she can't go and deny it. It's on camera. We all saw it, so she can't deny it. And it was another level. It was a whole nother level. I'm thinking, so we're really going to go and start cutting each other? Is that where the show has gone? Is that what it's come to? And then when they come back from commercial break again, it changes to something more lighthearted, to some of the more comical moments of the show, especially when they went and were doing the improv of each other. And that was cool. That was fine. What matters out of that entire situation is when we get to apparently Quad and Toya have a sex drawer, a drawer with sex toys. I'm thinking, I didn't need to know that. I did not need to know that from them. I didn't. I'm just telling you, I did it. I did. So then, because of all that, Quad's talking about rabbits and vibrators and toy. I'm thinking Eugene is somewhere blushing. That's what's going on. Eugene is somewhere blushing. And this is where Dr. Greg comes in. Dr. Greg comes in because he's going to be a part of the reunion. But we don't really see him talk too much until the middle/end of things. Now we're going to get to more controversy. we get to the whole thing with Quad. And this is something that I didn't know that she said, but we're going to talk about it in a moment. Quad and Simone, this whole thing was weird because Dr. Simone was saying how she doesn't go and try and pry in other people's relationships and her friends' relationships. I said, that's a lie. That's not even an untruth. That's a lie. That is a lie if I've ever heard one. That is a lie. 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 And there was mention of how Quad... So I'm going to freelance this to make this go faster. Because I'm not feeling this. The second part, I didn't think it was going to go this way. So we have Dr. Simone, who's saying that, you know, she just wanted the best for Quad, but the problem is she wasn't actually that close with Quad. She hasn't been close with Quad for a couple of seasons. Quad co-signs that that is the case, and so then it's part of it is a misunderstanding. Dr. Simone does acknowledge that she has an attitude and her delivery is trash and tragic a lot of times. And so that's why she gets the responses from people that she receives, because her own isn't so great. So when you go from that to Quad, who's hypersensitive but likes to pretend like she's not, but we know that she really is, this is what you get. Now we also hear about how Quad said something to the effect of she's the favorite, she's the fan favorite, she's the most talked about, most popular person off of the show. Yes, it is true, she is. No one said it was for the right reasons, but she is. Should Quad be just going puffing up her chest like that in front of her other castmates? No, that's not something you do. But if she's not as close with these women as she's saying that's the case, then I can see why that happened. Again, I'm not saying it's right, but I can see why it happened. When you go from her saying that she's close to some of the ladies and some of the women, and she feels like some of them had her back, but the rest, not even close, that speaks volumes. To when Toya is saying that she felt like Quad, this whole choosing sides between Quad and Dr. Greg needs to stop. And now she just doesn't want Quad to go. She doesn't want Quad to go to anything couples related, because she feels like, what is the point of her being there? What type of value does Quad get from being around couples and the couple trip? And so that's when Dr. Jackie said, well, you know, based on Toya's rules, I wouldn't have been allowed to be a part of Dr. Simone and Cecil's, their couples trip. And that's when Toya said, no, it's different because you are still trying to work things out with your husband. Quad basically saying she's done. She doesn't want any parts of it. She's sure. She knows. I'm thinking, here's the thing. Of course, someone who's single can gain value from being around married people. And Quad was saying she could learn what not to do next time, which makes perfect sense, as well as I'm so irritated. I don't know why. As well as Quad. Here's the thing. Toya then proceeds to say she doesn't want no single women around her husband. She doesn't understand why the other married, why the wives would want a single woman around their husband. Quad doesn't want any of your husband. And the fact that I like Quad, but I don't like to stand up too much for one in particular character. So this is irking me that I have to do this so much for her, because it just feels like, where is this coming from? This is stupidity at its best. Some of the stuff that's happening makes no sense at all. At all. So let's just move on to the guys. Now the guys are out there. Greg is out there. And, you know, the guys had a pretty light season. Greg, he's going to go more in depth with everything that's going on in a separate conversation with Quad. Ironically enough, they both wear blue, which is interesting. We see how Cecil, he's doing very well. He seems very happy. Dr. Damon and Aiden, because what I forgot to mention is when towards the beginning of this episode in part 2, Aiden hopped up right on set when, you know, Quad was going at Mariah, Mariah was going at Quad. And it made me think about this. I thought, Aiden, Dr. Aiden, let's not do too much now. Let's not do too much now, because we know how this goes. We know how this goes. I actually think you're very funny, and I think you have overall good energy. Rule number 1 on these shows, and Dr. Scott learned this quickly. Let the ladies handle their own business. Because when you intervene, then you get called a B, you get called a punk, you get insinuated that, oh, you just want to be confrontational with the women. You have to be very careful. Especially all of these women are married, with the exception of Quad. All the rest of these women are married, so their husbands can come out of the woodwork swinging. You never know. They'll go and be cool, copacetic, calm with you until you disrespect their wives, then it completely flips. And so when we're talking to Dr. Damon and Dr. Aiden and how, you know, they're back and forth of, Dr. Damon just feels like he's more so upset because his name was brought into it. His name was brought into it, which I understand. Aiden was just like, hey, your wife said this, so my wife said that. And yes, I do get that. And I do agree that the gloves are off when we're fighting. That's the rule to fighting. There are no rules. There are no rules. And that's the truth. There are no rules. It can't be a real fight if there's rules. You can't tell me to go and handle something accordingly, but with terms and conditions. Really? No. 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 Dr. Eugene was talking about how, look, we are picking sides when it comes to Quad and Dr. Greg. Eugene wanted Dr. Greg to come, but wasn't sure if the trip, how things would go if both of them were there. So they figured Quad be a better fit for this type of thing, and Greg didn't really express too much interest in going anyway. The truth of the matter is, Quad is on the show. Dr. Greg is on the show because of his wife. Huge difference. This isn't like a Cynthia and Peter situation. Peter made that couple as far as Real Housewives is concerned, not Cynthia. For Quad, it's the other way around. So that's why that's on that. And the men, that was the end of them. And now we're going to get to Quad and Dr. Greg. So that's it. I really didn't feel like talking that much about it because I was just irritated. If there's anything extra you want to add, please do so. This is my new format for 2019. And going forward, I'm not going to go and sit here and just talk for hours on end just to attempt to make more money or the views to be a certain way. I'm going to say exactly how I feel and get off of this camera. So I do a video a day. My name is Romie. This is Romie Reviews, and I'm starting another channel. And stay tuned because that's going to be crazy when you see it. Thanks, guys.